Welcome to Let's Talk. And let me first start off and apologize for the late start for this evening. We had a little issues we worked through, but we're here now. So we thank you guys for sticking around and joining us. And like I say, this is Let's Talk. And here at Let's Talk, we like to talk about issues that matter to you. And we try to come up with workable and practical solutions so we have more action and less talk. I'm your host, Jason, with my co-host, Still Cheryl this evening. And this evening, we're going to dive right in because we then had a late start.
Yes.
And a question, we did a little, not a scientific poll, just put it out there for the social media and our little circles and to ask them this question. Do men feel comfortable telling their women how they feel? Do men feel comfortable telling their women how they feel? And I was surprised by the feedback. I got a lot of feedback. Thank you guys for sharing your opinions. Mm-hmm. But I was surprised, and a lot of women actually had some feedback for me as well.
Can't wait to hear it.
You can't wait to hear it. But Cheryl, let me start off and ask you, do you feel, your honest opinion, do you feel that men, just who you talk with and all that, do you feel men, the men that you know, and the women that have men, do they feel that their men are comfortable sharing their feelings to them?
I'm not sure. I really am not. I think it depends on what it is about. I think men may feel comfortable sharing their feelings about other things, about politics, about a lot of different things. But when it comes to something about that female specifically, they may not feel open or feel like they have that space to always share.
Okay.
That's how I feel.
That's fair. So the question, like I said, was put out there. Do men feel safe or feel comfortable in sharing their feelings with their women? And I had no, yes, sometimes, but not often. That was the three choices. And for my little unscientific poll, it was like the majority said sometimes, but not often. Mm-hmm. That's for men and women.
For men and women.
Men were saying sometimes, but not often.
What I find interesting, though, is that you asked women. And the women who said no,
yes.
that means it's within your control.
Yes.
For the man to feel comfortable sharing. So I'm thinking when they were asked that question, were they thinking about the man in their life? And why isn't it that you're making that man comfortable feeling comfortable to share with you? Right. So because you have full control over that.
Right. But I don't think they were referring to themselves.
Really?
I think because they know the men in their lives and they heard men, probably their brothers and uncles, fathers, and they just hear men say, I can't talk to my woman. So they just saying that. And then some were saying no because men refuse to share.
Right.
So they might not have been saying no as the man ain't comfortable. Mm-hmm. They might be saying no, the man don't share. No, right. He's not sharing at all.
Okay. And I think a lot of those men who don't share, there must be a reason. They must have been burnt in the past and now They don't feel comfortable sharing.
Definitely.
But that's not an excuse in itself, because if you're in a new relationship, then you should give everything to that and come with an open mind. Correct. Now if this new person, you're seeing the same thing is being displayed where either sometimes when men are sharing, and especially if they're sharing about the female, if they're sharing their feelings about me, something they disagree with, maybe it's sometimes hard not to feel you get defensive, mm-hmm. or you feel attacked, and sometimes it's not even what is happening, but we're in our own head, and sometimes we feel attacked and we become defensive. Sometimes it ends up in an argument, and so the guy feels like, okay, this is not worth it. Let me keep the peace and not say anything anymore. And so that tends to happen.
Definitely, that's what was some of the consensus of the guys who sent out a resounding no. Okay. They can't handle the truth. Mm-hmm. One guy actually said, "What feelings? Men suppose have feelings? Comfortable? What do you mean comfortable? Feel like so? It was like this. It wasn't even computing. Men sharing feelings with women. Where you get that from? Like this weird thing. So let me just share my stats. I had 12 women responded, 25 men responded. Out of the 25 men that responded, 7 said no. They are not comfortable sharing. 4 said
women.
yes.
7 men.
7 men said
Said
no.
no.
They're not comfortable sharing. 4 men said yes. They feel comfortable sharing. And 14 men said sometimes, but not often.
Wow.
I had 12 women responded. And out of that 12 women, 7 women said no. Men don't feel safe sharing their feelings with their women.
So
2 said yes, and 3 said sometimes, but not often.
Okay. And I know let's before we go any further, we'd like to invite all of you out there, if you're viewing, and men especially, if we definitely want to hear from you.
Yes.
So please give us a call at 352-8255.
Yes.
And message us on the YouTube channel. Let us know how you feel. We really would like to know more from a lot more persons, male and female. And maybe females, you can tell us why is it that men don't feel comfortable talking to us. Maybe it's something different from what I would have said about, females making it into an argument or making it about us and not giving the man that
Right.
space where he feels comfortable
Right.
to talk.
Some men, a guy said this, right? Say, Jason, you know this is a loaded question. He said, men will try to talk to their women, but then it turns around, like you said, she turned around and she uses it now. It turns into argument where sometimes he even have to start consoling her. So
As he should.
so it turned right around. So now he say, okay, I can't share with her, right?
Wow.
But then he would go to his sweetheart and
Right.
he'd share everything. He comfortable sharing everything. See, because guess why?
She has nothing to lose.
Right, the sweetheart now she won't be the number one, so she's gonna give him that
Pretend
space.
to be that
yes.
person.
Yes. So
And
he said,
anyway.
he said it depends. So he can't share with the men because she's not open to it. But the side piece, oh yeah, she all airs and she comforting him and she providing that
But-
safe space and he could share everything with her.
See, it depends on the context or the content of what he's sharing, because usually a man can share, and if the woman, you're in a relationship with this man, we want the man to share with us. A lot of times we find that men are not sharing and we're not aware of why. Usually it's not us.
Really,
It's
really now.
us.
Really
Yeah, but we're
now.
not. No, seriously. On a serious note, you want the man to share with you.
Right.
And if you are the problem, we want him to say that as well.
Really?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
A
We
a
want.
commenter said
Go ahead.
they want to hear
Mm-hmm.
until it's about them.
That could be true. that could be true, because us as women, we do have a problem with removing ourselves from the equation, even if it is about us. It's a little difficult, and we need to definitely approach this in a more mature way, because we want our relationships to work, and for our
Right.
relationships to work, this has to happen. The man, we have to give, because we don't have any problem sharing.
Oh, definitely
And
not.
we'll share with whoever will listen.
Whoever an opening, he
You
that has
know?
an ear, let him in.
Yes, but it's important to us to get it out.
Right.
And I don't think the man shares that sentiment
No.
about getting it out.
It's because the space wasn't created, a safe
Mm-hmm.
space wasn't created for him to share. He wants to share, but like another guy said, he said no, he doesn't feel safe, and he said because he doesn't feel safe to share. He's uncomfortable sharing it
Mm-hmm.
because he doesn't want the confrontation.
Yeah, a lot of men do.
Right. We
don't-
want peace.
Right.
So we want you to, whatever we want to share with you, we want you to do better because we want to share it so the relationship could be
Could
better.
be better, yes.
But she isn't responsive. She isn't open
Yes.
to
it. Not
receive.
receptive.
Right. She's not receptive to receiving the positive criticism because she's taking it as an attack.
Mm-hmm.
So now he can't he wants to say, okay, yeah, you could do this better. But if he says if you do this better, she's going to try to bring other things up. You know, what about this? You did this. You said that.
Yes.
You know, and now it's the attack on, or she's going to go into victim mode. Oh, you make me feel so sad. And now, like I said, he's turning around and he has to now comfort her because now he's the bad guy now.
Right.
So it isn't a clear cut thing. Like most of the commenters said, it's most of those who responded said sometimes, but not often.
Right.
And they all said it depends. It depends on what is being shared.
Right. Yeah, definitely.
Right.
It depends on what is being shared because, like I said, a man could share his feelings about anything. You know, I mean, there are times when I get in arguments. It could be about politics because, you know, we have very, very strong views about that. And that
Right.
could become a very hot topic in a relationship, if you have different political viewpoints. So those are hot topics. It could be about religion. It could be people do get into it about these things in
Right.
relationships. But when it's a criticism about the other person, I think men handle these things better than females. But when it's a criticism about the other person, of course the person will take it personally because it's a personal issue.
It is personal.
However,
right.
how it should not be taken is as an attack or as a destructive criticism.
Right.
So it should be seen in a constructive light.
Right.
Because I am sure that any man who's going to criticize his female, he doesn't want to insult or hurt her because there's nothing for him to gain from that. Nothing
Except
at all.
headache.
Exactly. Exactly. So I think females should try. And I think as you spend more time in a relationship, that it gets better. It should get better when you get to know each other more.
Right, because you should be maturing, right?
Exactly, mature together. But I think females need to learn or need to understand that when a man start opening up or start sharing, that he needs to be given that space and that respect to say how he feels. And I think though the man has a responsibility to allow himself to be heard. And it doesn't matter how often it takes away your peace or whatever. You can't just climb up and say, I'm not going to share anymore because of whatever.
Easy to say,
I
Sharon.
think it is easier said. A lot of things are easier said than done, but do it.
Listen, women don't date women, so y'all don't know y'all. Y'all really don't know how y'all is.
Well,
Y'all don't know y'all. Matter of fact, y'all do know y'all, you know. Y'all do know y'all.
Please
That's
share.
why y'all prefer men in certain fields. Y'all prefer men as
Right.
bosses. Y'all prefer men as friends. Sometimes, you know. But anyway, we have to take a...
I get it. I get
Right.
what you're saying. Yeah, I do.
So we have to take a quick commercial break. Guys, stick around. We're glad to have you here, and we'll be right back after this message.
Yo, what's up, Bahamas? My name is Andrew Williams, aka Cat,
And I'm your boy Mix.
and we're representing Off the Bench, the number one talk sportcast in the Bahamas.
In the world, my boy.
My bad partner. So
Yeah.
we cover anything sports throughout the Bahamas. We cover our Bahamian athletes wherever they are, and they're making waves in sports. We cover them.
Hey, just tune in. That's every Wednesday here on Superior Talk at 6 o'clock p.m.
The number one talk show
In the world.
in the world,
Craig.
You asked and I delivered. Island-ish is back. The podcast you guys have known to love, to like to call in, to like to interact with. We are officially back. For the ones that don't know me, this is your girl Yams. Hearing me on Mix 102.1 FM or your favorite TGF_Yams. With the two S's, we're back with Island-ish right here on Superior Talk. So make sure you're following the page. We're going live this Thursday, 6 p.m. Don't miss it. Follow us. It's about to get lit.
Greetings and welcome to Superior Talk Bahamas. My name is Yvette Swain, and I am here with the Sword Sharpeners Prayer Network. We meet every Monday at 6 p.m., where we dive into the Word of God to see what He would say to us. You are welcome to join us. That's every Monday at 6 p.m. here on Superior Talks. God bless you, and we look forward to seeing you soon. Bye-bye.
go for 20 minutes.
Well, welcome back to Let's Talk, guys. Today's topic, we have, can men talk to women about their feelings? So, like I said, we did a unscientific poll where we had 25 men responded, 12 ladies responded, and for the most part, most men were saying that sometimes they can share their feelings, but not often.
Okay.
We had 7 women said no, men can't share it, and 7 men that said no. But for the most part, consensus is sometimes they can share, but not often enough. So we have comments.
Okay.
And the first comment is from?
Priska says, men should feel free to share their emotions with their women. They often choose not to. And I think we touched on earlier why we thought some men choose not to. But I would like to say, this is my opinion too. I believe that some men choose not to because they feel it's not a manly thing.
That was one of the comments.
And it may not have been anything the woman would have done. They just grew up that way. Daddy never showed that
True.
part of himself.
True.
And so they continue to do that.
True, but I would not disagree with that because even now, even you would think that's something in the past. Guys
Right.
were too macho, it ain't manly to show your emotions.
Right.
But even now, men are criticized for sharing how they feel by women and men. They call them sassy men.
Right.
Right today, that's the talk. Oh, he's sharing how he feel. What? This sassy man, little soft boy. What you talking about? You soft boy. Keep that in.
Really?
Yeah. That's there's a term now going on, sassy
I
man.
heard
mean,
the term,
it
but I
encompasses
thought the
more than
term
just
was- right,
from
it was-
feelings. It's more. It was
It's not
also
really
because
that you share your feelings. I think it's how you share your feelings.
But how
why
can you put say how somebody shares their feelings? Feelings are feelings. You say how you feel.
Well, we don't get into that, but I think
But-
you
No,
can
anyway, sassy, but
understand.
sassy men didn't just encompass men who share their feelings. They were saying men who
Men
competing
who are
for women.
argumentative and who tend to be. I guess it's not what we're used to men being.
Right, men actually talking back. Men just walk off and let y'all run on, and now that men challenge these women, they call them sassy. That's what happened.
I don't
They
think
call
it's
them
challenge-
sassy
well,
when they
not
start to challenge
in a
them.
manly way.
How you gonna say if it's a man challenging a woman, that's
no.
bad?
You have men who can challenge with masculine energy, and you have men who match feminine energy, and you can tell the difference.
We ain't talking about feminine men who and up in your face and all that. No. Once a man starts to argue back, argue
He's
his
called
point,
sassy. That's not
they
my
call him because they call him because he running on too long. So they call us sassy, but we straying. So,
Right. Yes.
So let's get
Priska
back.
says society has taught men not to share. Meanwhile, their women be begging them to open up.
And that's
true.
not true across the board. That's for some men.
Yes. I
Women
agree.
want the men to share what they want to hear. Because
True.
if he starts to share, okay, I would like you to do this better. I would like you to treat me this way. I don't like the way you speak to me like this. I don't like, oh, you soft. See,
No,
it
no
depends
way.
on what he's sharing.
Right.
He can share how he's feeling on the job. Oh, job stressing him out. He can share if he's
Yeah.
going through something. Yeah,
Right.
it's okay for him to share that. But when it comes to the relationship and he feels she's doing something wrong, she don't want him to share that. Oh, no, brother. You sassy now. Now you're sassing. So it depends. You see, so it depends. I agree with Priska to a point. But that
Yeah.
ain't straight across the board.
Says, nah, Cheryl, don't put that on women. What exactly? I don't remember. Did I put something on women? I don't understand how you can be in a whole relationship, sharing your life, home, bed, finances with this person, but sharing emotions is too much. Stop it.
It ain't too much. It's too much for you all to handle.
Exactly,
Because
and
it's
I
not.
guess-
It's nothing. It's like you said. It wasn't something you were used to. Men back in the day were quiet. Quiet around the women. But so now these men sharing now, and so now they're being held accountable for how they treat the men. And that's kryptonite to women now. Accountability. Their response. So now, like I say, I can refer back to what I was saying. It depends on what they want to share.
Right.
Men try. They try their women out. They share something, and they see how it goes, And if they see when they share that particular thing and they see that they're attacked for sharing that,
Then
okay,
they-
now they retreat and they don't
Well-
share anymore. They
Well,
shut
that
down.
doesn't make it right.
No, they make it right. But see, we want resolution. We don't want confrontation. We don't want fight.
Sometimes
we,
resolution come through confrontation.
yes, but
so-
it doesn't have to come with conflict. You could confront,
Right.
but it don't have to be conflict. You know, whereas
A
it's,
lot of times it's not that men, sorry to cut you off, but it's not that men don't want the conflict. They don't want conflict, but they really don't like confrontation either.
True,
And
some
sometimes,
men-
and like I said, the resolution will sometimes come through an argument and
and
confrontation. And
not
sometimes-
all men like to argue.
I
They would
agree.
like to say, hey, this is how I feel, and I would like you to do this better. So he would like her to just take that into consideration,
Right.
ponder that, and then change. He don't want, but I this, and but you that,
Right.
and you can do this better, and you can do that back. And then he got to
Yeah.
bring her back to the point, hey, we talking about this. Oh,
Yeah.
but see, I remember
And she
yesterday
bring
you
up
do that
something
and this
that
and
he
that.
did.
And then
Exactly,
and see,
yes.
and see, okay, guess what? It's cheaper not to even go through this with you.
That's true.
And that's what the commenter said.
But it takes
He-
maturity.
it
That's-
takes maturity. And he said, we try you,
Right.
share how we feeling, and we start to get attacked. He said, man, I ain't got to go through this. I go down the road. We're homegirl trying to fill this one spot, and she can play the role, she
Let's
can keep
not discuss
quiet,
that, but
and she
Jason,
can
we're
play.
trying to keep relationships together.
We are trying to keep it together, but
so let's not.
right, we
let's-
ain't encouraging that. No, we're not
exactly,
encouraging that. No.
sensationalize.
We're not. No. I'm telling you, this is what the commenter said, and I didn't say I
We can
agree with
keep
him.
that comment.
No, we take
He
in.
wants to do that. He's just looking for an
Anyway.
excuse. The nail coach says
Yes.
it would help if men share their feelings because women sure do share theirs. And it's as if men don't have feelings too.
Correct.
And
And-
that's true.
It has to be, the man has to feel safe to that he can share without being attacked.
Okay.
And but you do have men out there, and I agree with. I don't want to make it sound like all men don't share
Don't
because
share
they
their
were attacked.
feelings,
No,
right.
like another commenter said that, hey, some men don't share because they feel too macho,
And they feel like-
sharing is soft. So, but I heard a woman say, "No, man, better don't come sharing this feeling because where you going with this soft self?
Really?
Come from around
You
here."
heard a
whole grown woman, ain't no young
Well,
young
that's
lady,
not
a
normal.
woman said
That's
that.
not a normal.
So
That's
so
not normal.
and you have men who think like that. So he don't share because he think he too hard. That's but soft.
Yes.
Well,
Some
soft boy
men
sharing
feel like-
feeling.
yeah, right.
But like also the same commenter said that, but they could cry when it's funeral, when they lose a loved one, but then they don't want to cry about their feelings to their woman. So you ain't too macho to cry then,
Right.
but you're too macho to share your feelings. So
Their feelings.
I get what they were saying.
But I think I do think that women can play a better role as it relates to and help men feel a little more comfortable. But I still think that it is incumbent on the man and to say what it is that is affecting
He
him,
should.
even if he can't share and he's not comfortable, say that. Even if it's gonna cause an argument, it may not make any sense to you guys, but say it. You want your relationship to work, or you want to live in that bondage because I cannot imagine being in a relationship and not be able to share my feelings.
Because you're a woman.
That's
a normal day for a man.
To us, that is prison.
Crazy, yes.
We could never survive that.
But that's a normal day for a man.
and it shouldn't be so. I can't.
It's
And
a
I think.
normal
I
day.
think for a lot of men, it's a self-made prison. That's how I
Not
feel.
a lot.
And
I think it's
for some men, it can change.
It's half and
But-
half. I think some of us put ourselves there, but some of us were put there, but placed there. I can tell you, Cheryl, some women are so immature to the point when it comes to feelings. Like, once you start to bring up their issues, like you start to shine a light on what they need to fix, oh my God, the walls go up and shop closed and they mad and they ain't cooking or they ain't freeing up and, and they would make it seem as if they ain't mad, but they start withholding other areas.
Right.
But so, we cherish, we keep our feelings in just to get some of that. So I can tell you now, most men.
I wonder what percentage of think about the percentage of men who you think fit in that category. Let me just read what Priska says. It's also not what you say to a woman; it's how you say it.
See, now it's conditional now.
I was not.
See?
It's well. I mean, generally speaking,
See?
it's not what you say to anybody. I mean,
True.
it's how you say it to anyone.
True.
But I would think that if I were, it's even on my job, if I have to offer a criticism to someone, I would use the sandwich effect where I start off with a compliment and then criticism, and that's how we're trained to do.
Yes.
So why can't that still be used in a relationship?
It should be used. I think only a fool would come to a situation, attacking a situation, and expecting the best results.
Right.
So I'm thinking these men are reasonable, right? And coming reasonable, logically, because men operate logically. Most of the times, we come in logically, trying to appeal to your sense of reason.
Right.
So we ain't gonna come attacking, because we actually want you to change. So we might not come with the, oh baby, rub, and all that, but we can come calm and say it calmly. We mightn't come with sugar on it, but we can come, and then again, it's still, why this attitude? What attitude?
It doesn't matter how you say it.
You're
Is
right,
that what
it
you're
don't
saying?
matter.
Oh boy, I can't think that we're that bad. Have another comment, men.
See there?
Men are very sassy these days, acting like women and expecting to be treated
Ooh,
like
see
women.
there?
Ouch. I
Now,
mean,
see-
you do have some, but I don't. See, maybe I have a different perspective of what sassy is, so maybe I need to do some more research on
See,
that.
that's it right there. She didn't say some men. She made a blanket statement.
I think she meant some men, and I tend to do that a lot too without saying some. But I think I don't think there's any on any. It doesn't matter what we're talking about.
Right.
We can ever say all men
Right.
do whatever.
But
Okay.
from her standpoint, she's feeling most.
You think
When
so?
you say that, because when they say men, they're meaning the majority.
Yeah, well,
And which is incorrect.
This one, I think, where she's saying men are not brought up to share their feelings. Boys don't like to share as it makes them look soft, which is something you said earlier.
Yes.
So I think this one relates to a lot more men than the other comment that was
Right.
made before.
Right. And see, the thing is, we may not want to share with our friends because we don't want to look soft around them. But if our women make us feel it's okay to be soft around them, then we might be more inclined to share how we feel.
Yes, I
But if
agree.
our women looking for a strong man and they always want us to be this protector, always want us to be this provider, always want us to be this priest, but never providing the space for us to be this, to actually take off our armor,
Right.
then that means we feel under the impression that we got to also be hard around y'all as well. Guarded around y'all as well, because, like I say, most men in the beginning, they would try their women to see how she would take criticism.
Right.
And if he sees there's going to be opposition, high opposition, he'd like kind of, all right, I don't think I can share with this one. But that's his fault for staying with her.
So leave the woman just because you can. Anyway,
Yes.
Get your phone, Jason.
Welcome to Let's Talk Caller. You are live. What has you to say about this topic tonight?
Good evening, Jason. Good evening, Cheryl.
Good
Good evening.
Jason, I would be curious to know, in terms of the responses that you got, if you had any information on the length of those relationships, how many of them were married versus just, in a relationship
Good point.
like that, because I really do think that men being open to share with their significant other or their spouses really is based on the type of relationship that they have.
Good
Is that
point.
person your best friend?
Yes.
That you feel safe enough to be able to be vulnerable, to be even if you have to give a critique, does that person see you as someone who is saying what they're saying from a position of love and helping you to improve or to better the relationship? Because sometimes conflict is good. So I would be curious to know. Well, I think that the depth of the relationship really does matter, and the length of the relationship. How long have these two people been together where they can be comfortable at that level? That's my 2 cents.
Thank you so much, caller.
Yes.
Always adding meat to our conversation. Thank you so much. Call anytime.
Yeah, and I agree 100%. The length of the relationship. and the friendship,
Right.
the kind of relationship, like she's saying, because I think in a marriage, it's a do or die kind of situation. So I think the man would be more willing to even, and maybe you can tell me, Jason, because you're a man, because this is my wife, this is the person that I'm with. So would he be more willing to try? Even if the last time it didn't turn out the way he wanted, will he be more willing to try again?
In a marriage, you have to continue to try.
Exactly.
You have to continue to try because, like you said, it's a do or die. You know, you're there for life. You're supposed to be
Right.
there for life, so you have to
Right.
find a way to make
Exactly.
it work. Now, that's me. I will, because that's my philosophy, right?
Right.
But not all men subscribe to that. Unfortunately, a lot of people are going the way of the world, which means if it ain't working, leave it alone and go find something else that does work, even if you're married.
Even if you're married.
Right.
Okay.
So I would encourage all men, stand your ground and be heard, because this is your feelings and you want peace just as much as she wanted.
Right.
It's not no happy wife, happy life. It's happy spouse, happy house.
Happy house.
So that's my philosophy. So stand your ground until you are heard
Right.
and stand like a man.
But is there a foundation of friendship though? Because we could tell our friends anything, and we could criticize our friends, and say different things. So, but if you do have a friendship in your relationship, wouldn't that make it easier to criticize, knowing that, like our caller said, the person wouldn't see it as a criticism because they know that, okay, this my girl, this my boy, we like that.
It should be right, but check this out. If you are married, I'm speaking strictly married folks now.
Yeah.
It don't matter if you're friends or not. You're all married, so
Yeah.
you'll have to make it work. So
No,
so
I agree
therefore,
with that, but wouldn't that help
Yes,
to make
definitely,
it better?
definitely, right?
If you're married, you should be friends.
You should be friends.
Should be
but
best friends.
Should be. It should be. That's not reality. So you both want the best, and you should be want the best for each other. And because you're married, her knowing that's her husband, even if it does come off the way she doesn't like, that's your husband.
Absolutely.
Argue for him in your mind.
Yeah.
Does he have a point on what he's bringing? Is his feelings valid? You know, because you all want us to
But
hear you all
it
out.
doesn't matter what he's saying. He should be listened to. He should be given
And
your
that's
ear.
what I'm
Whether
sa-
you
that's
think
what I'm saying. That's my
he's
point.
talking garbage.
Right, that's my point. She should give him the respect to hear him out and to actually sit and say, is he feeling valid? Is his feelings valid? Is this what he's saying
Right.
true? Is his perception of me true? Because he could have the wrong perception, and which means now she has to change his perception and try to convince him, not attack him for how he's feeling. Because when she's feeling away, like you said, you're telling him, the dog, the cat, the rat, the boy,
When did I say
anybody who
that?
can
Excuse me, I didn't
listen,
say that. We
anybody
find
who
a
can
way to
listen,
express
y'all
ourselves.
y'all can let them know. And they all don't matter.
Yes, when we need
And you
to.
will try. Obviously, y'all can try the tone way, the best way first.
Right.
But if that don't work, y'all saying it, y'all don't care.
yes, we're pulling in the
Y'all don't care after that.
Dynamites.
I already tried nice and it didn't work. I come and shoot
we
next.
will be heard. Yes.
Right, y'all gonna be heard no matter what.
Right.
So men should stand on their ground and make sure they're heard. Because my man, you there. And you're supposed to be there for life, right?
Exactly, Right. And
Make
even
sure you're
if
happy.
you're not married yet, you're still practicing. You're in
Right.
a relationship, because the end game, I'm hoping, should be marriage.
Right.
Like Priska is saying, well, if a man expects to be in a relationship with a woman while avoiding conflicts, it's cheaper he stays by himself.
Oh, most definitely.
Yeah,
I
and
agree.
that goes for anyone.
I agree.
Because it will get messy, especially when you're just getting to know each other.
Right.
It will get messy,
And
and
if
so
it's-
you'll work through those.
If it's worth it, you work through the mess,
If-
right?
yeah, if it's worth
now,
it to
if
you.
you see if she isn't worth it or he isn't worth it, then well, chuck it up and go move on.
Elise Lord says, mature men, or as men get older, they start to say how they really feel and don't care whose feelings they hurt. I guess, like
That's
you said,
true.
yes.
That's true.
She also says it's cultural, I think, because men know how to sweet talk or beg. You got that right. Beg for that when they want it, and they don't
right.
care. So
That's right.
So they know how to share their
You know to show that feelings, right? You can
Exactly.
share that.
Oh, they can share that with a rock. But all of a sudden they're selective in what they're comfortable sharing.
Move on to the next
Yeah,
one.
yeah. Priska says, I don't know why men say women don't want to hear the truth. We absolutely do. just don't rough us up doing it.
Nah, come on
And there's
now.
some, yeah, but
Come on now.
I must
Come on
agree, though, Priska, there are some of us women who really don't want to hear the truth.
No.
If it is about us,
Yeah.
we don't want to hear the truth. And like I would have said before, sometimes there are some of us who get defensive. We don't hear the guy out. We start feeling attacked and start getting defensive before we actually hear what he's trying to say.
Yes, and you have to, it's like pulling tooth. In fact, that's what a lady said. You know, we want y'all to share, but it's like pulling tooth and nails to pull out the feelings from the men and how they feeling.
Right.
And I think a lot of the times that's because we're guarding what we say. How should we make ourselves vulnerable? Can I give her this information? What will she do with this? Will she weaponize it? Will it make me look soft? How she can view me after I see this? After
why
I say
is he
this?
thinking about all this? Just share.
Because you know why? You know why?
Your feelings
Maybe
are
in the
important.
past, he may have been dealt that blow.
Well,
So he's now got it.
that's
Which is-
unfair.
it's
That's
unfair.
to this present female
But how
that
much
he's
of us,
with.
how much of us,
you know?
us don't do that? Ladies, guys, bring over baggage from previous relationship and beat the guy with it.
I can't
That's
relate.
that's.
Priska says
anyway.
sometimes men think they're not being aggressive in their approach, but they really are.
Okay,
but
Priska, okay, I want to address that. Okay, we may be aggressive. Men are aggressive.
Right.
Why not just take it as that? He doesn't mean anything by it.
That's
just
true.
his way of being.
Forgive me, I have to agree with Jason. Yes.
You know?
Yes.
He's sharing.
Yeah.
Now you want to tell him how to share?
Yeah.
Why not just say he's sharing? At least
Yeah.
he tell me. No, but you want to tell us how to share. Come on.
And then
It's
after you
always-
listen to him, then you can say, "Boy, baby, you really roughed me up, man." You know,
Right.
because you should have that relationship
Right.
where you can be that way.
Right. You give and
know?
take. You can't. You want him to share, then you want him to share it with sugar. No. Share it with salt. At least he shared, right?
I bet, yes. And because you, like you said, you want him to share. But I bet if that's the approach, the next time he share, he will be willing to share. But
Exactly.
he said, "Man, I gotta come a little softer."
Yes, because
maybe
you're
buy her
receptive.
favorite ice cream. Exactly.
You're receptive, and then you're receptive, and you, baby, I understood what you said.
Yeah.
It's just that like you said, you roughed me up. You could say it a little,
Yeah.
and next time he'll take that into consideration, rather opposed to you. Oh, who you think you talking to? And you better go down there. I look like your ma. You take your share.
All right. Ariel is saying, I met men in my generation are very sassy.
Oh,
She's
yeah.
in her early 20s. So
Yeah.
So I
And
guess,
I would kind of agree to an extent and that will lead to another topic for another show, because this generation of guys now, they're being raised differently,
absolutely.
and so I kind of agree with her, and that's because real men weren't in the place to groom
Right.
those young men, to show them how to be men, how to handle themselves.
They've
They're
been
being
raised
raised
by
by
women.
women, so they are taking on women traits.
Right.
So I agree with her on that.
And it's a little different too, Jason, because some of us from our generation were raised by women too, but there were men at the youth group, and there were men on
Present,
the street
yes.
who will rough you up.
Yes.
You know,
They
and
stop
yeah,
being
but
so
now
soft, yeah.
but now it's just women really.
Yeah.
And
yes.
and it's women who are protective, women who wouldn't allow the village to help with the
Exactly,
raising.
and that's the problem right there.
difference.
Yes,
Yes,
because these
but like
women.
you said,
That's a different topic. Yeah, that's a different show.
Okay, Elise Lord says, logically is correct. Men don't rate feelings, so they hardly speak on it. And I think men really get annoyed when we share our feelings. Really? That's a whole different thing.
That's a
Do
different
men
thing.
get annoyed when we share our feelings, Jason?
Sometimes we do. You know why? And I can just briefly go on it because y'all keep saying it over and over and over, and we get it from the first time you said it. But I guess because we
But why
respond.
don't you indicate that you get it?
That's what I said. I was just going to go say it because we didn't respond the way y'all think we should. Y'all keep going over and over and it.
Maybe you don't respond at all.
Because even now we're more. Another thing y'all got to
Priska's
realize.
telling us all that we're pacifying men. Okay.
When y'all share your feelings with us, we thinking now, how do we fix it? Y'all don't want that. Y'all
Yes,
wanna.
we do.
No, y'all say y'all want us to listen.
No, there are times. No,
Okay, now,
about
Sharon, you're
that.
confusing
No,
me.
it depends. If there are times when we want you to listen, like we're having a rough day at work, we come home. Maybe we're having girlfriend issues. We come home and we talk about it. But when it's something about you specifically,
Oh, you want
we
me to
want
fix-
you to change that.
Okay.
Anytime we address something about you specifically, we want you to change it, and we want you to change it quickly.
Okay.
Yes.
And received.
Thanks.
Now
And
on the
all the
same
men are
end,
there, yes.
on the same end,
I speak for all
we
women.
speak to you when we
To
come.
all of you.
You see how you said that, right? With
Sorry.
that passion.
You were talking,
You
yes.
say that. That's a passion. You said that with a passion. You know, when we said it to you. We want to fix. And we want to fix quickly.
Yes.
And sometimes you'll come with that approach, and guess what? We'll sit there and we'll take that, and we keep quiet, and we just move on. If we come to y'all now, we gotta come and, oh baby, I want you to fix this, but I want you to fix it quickly.
Favor
You see
ain't
that?
fair.
You see that,
Favor-
right?
favor
Y'all
ain't
could
fair.
come roughing us up. We'll take it.
Because you's man.
Right. See there?
Man up
Okay.
and
See
take
there?
it.
See there now? Cheryl, hence some
What?
of why the problems.
What's the problem?
So when we come to approach, hold on. We's man, so y'all can talk to us a little fine. So when we come talking like how men talk, now is a problem. See?
No. Here's the deal.
Krusky keep
What you
saying is
say-
how we say it.
I agree. And
Right,
it should
but that's
be
how men is
because-
talk.
No, well,
But,
no,
right?
you can't do that. How you talk is dependent on the recipient.
Okay,
Because
no,
what's
but
the
you
point
just
of
said,
talking?
okay.
I'm saying we can rough men up because we know men
Can
are
take it.
men. They can take it. So you can't rough us up because we can't take it.
But-
you have to package the message
now-
how the recipient can receive
So,
it.
so now
And
Priska
I'm
say
not
you're
saying-
pacifying men, right? But
I'm
now
not
here,
saying
who we
you should
pacifying
baby
now?
up. No, I'm
Who we
just saying
pacifying
no.
now? Because
Jason,
I'm a
I'm
man,
just
right?
saying.
And I'm a man, and I talk rough, and I talk hard, and I've been accused of speaking. I need to smooth off my corners, but that's just the way I speak, right?
So people
So
who
why not
know
receive
you,
that the way I
people
speak?
who know you, I agree. People
And 'cause
who
I don't
know
mean
you
any
should
harm
know
for it,
you,
right?
Especially the person who's in your home should know you and how you speak and know that okay, you're not attacking them.
Right, so that's why I'm saying, so men speak like men, but y'all want us to now dial it back and speak like women to y'all.
No,
But you
that's
could-
not what
but
we're
you-
saying. We're
but you
saying
just said-
speak. No, I am saying, and listen to me carefully again, because you guys don't listen.
Oh, wow. I thought it was y'all who
Jason,
don't listen.
I'm saying we don't listen to you. But
See?
I'm saying you just package it for the person you're talking to.
Correct.
If you were talking to a child, you'll package what you're saying
Correct.
so the child could receive it.
Understood.
If you're talking to an elderly person, you package it. So
Understood.
we're saying package it so that the female can receive it.
Understood.
However that is.
Understood. Understood. So what if we forget that? We make that mistake and don't package it how you receive it. Shouldn't you be in
By
the
all
adult?
means, you should, yes.
Okay, receive
Yeah,
it.
I agree.
And not look past the tone, look past the energy, and just listen
Yeah.
to see if he has a valid point.
Yes.
Okay. Godfrey says, absolutely not. We have the right to be sensible and circumspect. If you share too much, it will be used against us every time. Never share honestly. Only share what she wants to hear and needs to hear.
My God.
And the producer says, hallelujah. This is how most men think from my generation, because we've tried it, and like you say, because we didn't come at, not like you said, but like Priska said, we didn't come in the right tone. We didn't come with the right mannerism. So it was, now it's not received, and now we are attacked or thrown aside because we didn't come the way you wanted to hear. So therefore, you know what we do? Okay.
Climb up and just now
Climb up
talk.
or just share peace, and carry it to who want to hear it.
And I
Whether
guess
it be our
that's-
boys or somebody else.
And I was gonna say, and I guess it's a wrap up. This is my wrap up.
But, yeah.
Females, we have to make sure that the men in our lives feel comfortable sharing with us. For his mental sake, if he doesn't talk to us, he has to talk to someone. And I'm sure you want to be that person who he's talking to. So we have to give him the space. Prepare a space and open up our ears and hearts to hear him, even if it's not said how we want to hear it.
Yes, I agree. I'm going to wrap up, but I had some comments I just want to read quickly.
Okay.
From a female, she says, the right mood, time, space, and overall vibe, maybe even a few drinks, and then he'll share. So she got to coax it out of him and say, somehow, generally speaking, men see tapping into or sharing their feelings as soft. The other thing is they don't want it to be used against them negatively, and it shouldn't be when there's an argument later. So that's, again, goes to Godfrey's point. Then this is a guy saying sometimes he shares, but not often. Personally, I don't think that they can handle it. If they think for 1 minute they have you hooked, they begin to operate differently from a completely different perspective. Never let them know. It's going again with Godfrey said. I do believe that there are some women that can handle it, but they are few and far in between. Okay. So, I agree with Cheryl's wrap up. And men, though it may be hard, especially the husbands, I urge you, stand your ground. Speak your piece.
Yes.
Peace got to be in the home. It's not a happy wife, happy life. It's happy spouse, happy house. And if we carrying this burden around, we can let it out somewhere. It's going to explode. We can be a ticking time bomb. And so the best thing to do is share it with your wife. Do our best to share it to the way they can receive it. But all else fails, still get it out, my brother. Say what you have to say. Share it with her. She can grow up. She's a big girl. She's a big girl. Make her into a big girl. Ladies, grow up. Grow up. I just gonna say that for those of you, I'm speaking to the ones who always feel attacked when the men start to share how they feel in the relationship, what the men want changed. It ain't always about you. It's about y'all. And if you want your relationship to flourish and grow, you gotta be open to hear and create, like Cheryl said, create that safe space for that man to share his feelings. So y'all could build this thing together, man.
Yeah.
That's my 2 cents. Thank you for joining us. It's been great having you guys here with us. We'll see you again next week, same time, same place. Peace.